and welcome to the magnificent Hamdan Sports Complex for finals day at the BWF Dubai World Superseries finals. Whilst Dubai is known for its spectacular architecture, it also retains a rich Arabian identity. Well, just before play gets underway, fans been treated to some spectacular aerials here at the Hamdan Sports Complex. Well, semi-finals day yesterday threw up some fantastic matches. We started with men's doubles, and the world number ones and defending Super Series finals champions Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung went down to the world champions Mohammed Hassan and Hendra Setiwan in 3 thrilling games. The married couple in the mixed doubles, Chris and Gabby Adcock, outplayed Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto in 2 straight games.
Getting to the final feels amazing. We wanted to do better than last year, and we did. We came here, but we want to try and win it. But yeah, we're just thrilled and happy with that win at the minute, and I think we'll just let that settle in and come back tomorrow fighting.
Well, in the women's singles, Japan's Nozomi Okuhara continued her stunning run of good form, beating the world champion Karolina Marin for a second time in 2 days, and won once again in 2 straight games. Well, the shock of the day was in the men's singles. The defending champion and world champion Chen Long, last year's winner, outclassed by the young Dane Victor Axelsen in 2 straight games.
I just came out from the court, and it must be the biggest win of my career so far, you know, in a single match. So right now I'm just really, really happy, and of course greatly satisfied with the way I handle things on court today.
Well, in the battle of the 2 former world champions in the second of the women's singles, Wang Yi-han took just 36 minutes to beat Thailand's Ratchanok Intanon 21-12, 21-12. Meanwhile, Kento Momota, the number 2 seed from Japan, overcame the European champion from Denmark, Jan O. Jorgensen, in 2 straight games, therefore booking his place in the final. Well, 5 finals for you this afternoon, and we're starting with women's doubles, and the only number 1 seeds left on finals day, the twin sisters Luo Ying and Luo Yu, up against the European champions and 2013 winners Pedersen and Rytter Juhl. Then mixed doubles, and Chris and Gabby Adcock in their first Super Series final of the year. They're up against Go Sung-hyun and Kim Ha-na, winners of 2 back-to-back Super Series titles in Denmark and France earlier this year. When women's singles, and Nozomi Okuhara, who really has been in tremendous form, she's up against a former champion, the 2011 winner, Wang Yi-han. Then men's singles, and Victor Axelsen in his 5th Super Series tournament final, still looking for his first ever title. He's up against Kento Momota of Japan. Then we finish with men's doubles, and the world champions and the 2013 winners, Mohammed Hassan and Hendra Setiwan, up against last year's beaten finalists, Chai Biao and Hong Wei. Well, as far as the women's doubles draw is concerned, you can see 4 different nations at semi-final stage, and one of only 2 draws to feature all 4 seeds. Well, players waiting in the wings, the 2 pairs in the final of the Super Series finals. The European champions and former winners Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Juhl today appearing in their 3rd Super Series finals final in 4 years. Their opponents, the number 1 seeds, Luo Ying and Luo Yu, the identical twin sisters, who this year have been in 3 Super Series tournament finals, winning 1. So we're just about ready for play to get underway. Let's join our Master of Ceremonies, Howard Bentham.
This is the Dubai World Super Series Finals. Time to welcome the players for the women's doubles finals. First up, the number 1 seeds from China, Luo Ying and Luo Yu.
Identical twin sisters Luo Ying and Luo Yu. Number 2 in the world, but for the first time finished the Super Series standings as number 1. Hence the number 1 seeds.
And please welcome their opponents from Denmark, the number 2 seeds, Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Rytter.
The European champions, the World Championship silver medalists, today appearing in their 3rd Super Series final in 4 years. That is an incredible record by the Danes. Of course, they won the title 2 years ago when the Super Series finals were staged in Kuala Lumpur. They also reached the final in 2012, where they lost out to Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang. So the court officials, their first duty, the toss of the coin.
Tails, heads.
So the first of our finals here at the 2015 Super Series finals, women's doubles. It is the number 1 seeds, Luo Ying and Luo Yu, against the number 2 seeds, Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Rytter. The only final featuring a number 1 seed, so of course the only final where we have the number 1 and 2 seeds battling it out for the title. Now the identical twin sisters, 24 years of age, but next month they will turn 25. They are currently number 2 on the world ranking. That's the highest they've been, but finished the year as number 1 on the Super Series standings. 4 finals from all 13 tournaments that they played this year, and they won the Malaysian Premier Super Series and reached the final in India and France. Also reached the final of the Chinese Taipei Grand Prix Gold. Now, as far as their results in the tournament are concerned, the last of the group matches, they played against the number 3 seeds, the defending champions, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi. They lost in 3 games, an hour and 22 minutes. Then in the semi-final, they were drawn the same pair again. This time, they won 21-19, 21-19. But for the 2 games, it was even longer, an hour and 26 minutes for those 2 games. So to their opponents, the number 2 seeds, Christinna Pedersen, 29 years of age, today appearing in her 6th Super Series final, because of course she's won the mixed doubles 3 times with Joachim Fischer-Nielsen. Kamilla Rytter, the tall left-hander from Skagen, right in the north of North Jutland. She today is in her 5th Super Series final. She won 1 mixed doubles title at this event. That was back in 2008. Now, they went down 1 place in the world ranking this week, down to number 4. They have been as high as 2. In fact, spent 46 weeks as number 2. Now, they lost 2 of their group matches, but one of them became null and void. On Wednesday, they lost in 3 games to Tian Qing and Zhao Yunlei, the world and Olympic champions, but they later withdrew, and therefore that loss was wiped out. They then lost in the last of the group matches to Nidhya Krishinda Maheswari and Gracia Polly, the number 4 seeds, and then reversed that result yesterday, beating them in 2 straight games, 21-17, 21-12 in 46 minutes. So this will be the 4th meeting between these 2 pairs, and the previous 3, the Danes had the advantage, but the last time they met was in the French Open. It was the French Open last year, not this year, the 2014 quarter-final stage, where the Chinese pair won in 2 straight games. So our umpire for this one, Kelly Hall from Australia, Eddie Rufianto of Indonesia, will be the service judge.
Okay.
So I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that once again, Steen Pedersen, former head coach of the Danish national team and very instrumental in the early development of this Danish women's doubles pair. Now, as a neutral, I'm not supposed to be biased at all for this, but when you look at the overall Super Series and 12 Super Series tournaments leading up to these Super Series finals, 12 different pairs winning the women's doubles titles. If the Danes were to win, it would be 13 different pairs winning the 13 events. And I think that would be marvellous.
That would be fun.
That would be more than fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. But, of course, this Chinese pair, as world number ones on the Super Series standings, well, they've already won 1 title, 3 finals. One has to favour them in the outcome of this, especially also as they won the last encounter, the last time these two pairs met. Well, I think the player's ready. A final practice serve.
Ladies and gentlemen,
for Kamilla Rytter.
on my right, Christinna Pedersen, Kamilla Rytter, Denmark. On my left, Ying, Yu, China. Yu to serve to Kamilla Rytter, love all, play.
So the first of our finals, the women's doubles, gets underway. Well, I said, Steen, that you were instrumental, I think, in their development when you were in charge of the Danish national team. There were certainly players that I know you've worked with, and they, I'm sure, need to use a change of pace in their attack today and really try and involve the net player.
Yeah, they're both very strong on the front court. First of all, I should say, I wasn't the national coach when they started playing together. I'd quit by that time, but I've coached them as individuals earlier on. So
right.
The influence might not be as big as I would like it to be.
So you can't claim credit for it?
No.
Okay.
2-1.
Yeah. We didn't see the match yesterday, the semi-final match against Croatia and Bulgaria and Maheswari. They must have played quite a bit better than the last group match. And already the start that we see here is much, much better than we've seen so far in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I think rallies like that are very much going to suit the identical twin sisters, Ying and Yu. And very conveniently, the twin sisters, one's got a knee support on today, so we can clearly distinguish them apart, and it's Ying who's wearing that knee bandage. And crikey, she's got a lot of strapping underneath that bandage too, hasn't she? Well, there's flashlights going off already from the fans.
2-all, play.
Now that's a good rally from a Danish perspective, isn't it?
They'll be looking to try to intercept on the front court. Both former mixed doubles players, and I'm sure that both Ying and Yu can play mixed, but we don't see them play here on a Super Series level.
Oh, that's great. Yes, of course, Kamilla Rytter, former world champion in the mixed doubles in 2009 with Thomas Laybourne. And this lady, well, she was Olympic bronze medalist in the mixed doubles with Jochen Fischer and 3-time winner of the Super Series finals with him. Now, it was interesting earlier in that rally, Steen. I saw that Pedersen was at the back of the court and Kamilla Rytter was literally moving back from the net, waiting for her to go forward.
Yeah, and that's part of the game plan. They don't want to play too much front court player, back court player. If they do that, the back court player tends to get to work too much, and the front court player gets a little bit stuck there and is pretty much out of the rally.
Yeah. Good pressure on return of serve from the tall left-hander. 183, that's about 6 foot, isn't it?
And it will be important for the Chinese to manage the service situation well. If they get under pressure there, it's going to be difficult for them to get these long rallies going.
Yeah, Zhou happy with that.
6-3.
That's
Yeah.
way in.
Yeah, it's a
Service over.
really drastic misjudgment.
4-6.
You can also see that they haven't really tried to do a lot on the service returns. The Liu sisters, they're quite satisfied lifting. So they won the last encounter. It's over a year ago or something
Yes.
like that. But I suppose the Danes, I remember speaking to them not so long after that loss, and they've been studying these two sisters a lot on video and trying to figure out how can we score points, what should our attacking combinations be.
Well, certainly whatever they've worked out seems to be working at the moment. Yeah, they're smash from the back and then move forward.
Yeah.
Christinna Pedersen, one smash.
Service over. 5-8.
Oh, that's nice. I like that block. There she is again. One hit from the back and then at least moves to the half-court area.
yeah.
That's a good shot. Yep, and again. Oh, yes.
It's well played.
Yeah.
And the Danes are doing a much better job in the defense than they did on Friday. I suspect that's
Service over.
how they played yesterday, with a much more offensive defense. By that, I mean that they're not lifting high as they did Friday. High lift that were coming almost vertically downwards. But that's not the good thing for the Danes to do that. They need to play a more constructive defense, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Kamilla. 9-5. Play.
like that defence. Oh, and I like... Oh, it's right. I was going to say, I like that even better. Oh, there's a challenge.
Over.
Was there a challenge?
6-9.
It was a very
Oh.
little wave, at least. It wasn't raised clearly above the shoulder from Christinna Pedersen. No, I think the linesman got it right.
Yeah.
The shuttles seem to be a little bit slow.
That's the formation play, isn't it? The push down the forehand corner of
Service over.
their opponents. It comes back to the left-hander's forehand side.
So I know that normally the Danes, they don't like to play with too slow shuttles. But, of course, nobody likes to play with too slow shuttles, but with slow shuttles. But at least here it will definitely better their own defense. You see, this is what the Danes want to avoid, that the front court player, the Chinese pair, is not doing anything. She's just standing there.
Service over.
I think
7-10.
it's actually quite possible to outmaneuver the backcourt player. At this time, at least, by the Danes.
Yeah, the serve was very good.
10.
Wanted to try and put pressure on because of the quality of the serve.
And that's going to be important for the Chinese pair, that if they can serve really well, the Danes will be unable to put pressure on them in the service return. Good shot.
Oh, that's a super shot from Ying.
9-10.
And I can remember that this is not the first time I've seen a shot like that be effective against Kamilla Juhl.
Chinese fans. By the Danes, and they have the advantage at the mid-game interval, a 2-point advantage.
11-9. Interval.
Og god rytme vi har. Vi vil spille skuespil. Det ser god ud. Rigtig gode valg, de fungerer også. Det er vi har snakket om. Og de der hurtige afviklinger ud mod sidelinjen, så får vi netmanden mere næsten hver gang. Det er perfekt. Okay? Vi skal lige være opmærksom på, det er rigtig godt at løfte til blå sko. Men hun spiller rigtig rundt op lige nu. Hun slår ikke igennem, så der kommer stik eller drop, så der skal vi være opmærksom. Og hendes spiller kan vi godt hente det.
They talk something about playing a lot to the player nicknamed Blue Shoe, and I think maybe that could cause some kind of confusion, because I don't see any players with blue shoes here.
Well, certainly one's got on red shoes.
There's one with red shoes, and I would say that it's green shoes from
where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. They're blue shoes.
Yeah, they are actually very light blue.
Yeah.
But when it's on court, from where we're sitting, they look a little bit green.
That's funny to distinguish them like that, isn't it?
And I think If you name her knee bandage, then it's much easier to distinguish.
Defensive shot is long. It was good placement from Christinna Pedersen.
Service over.
Aiming towards the right hip. As difficult as a defender, you never know whether to play the backhand defence or to play the forehand. It's a very awkward area to defend the shuttle. That's great third shot intersection.
13-10.
And there was a little mentioning of something in relation to what you've noticed, Juhl, and that's a little bit disturbing because Lars Ulrich already told Christinna to keep acting as in an actor and keep looking good. So to me, that's a sign combined with your observation that she was moving really quickly forward, that she's not totally well. Well, she's doing a good job of acting.
Yeah.
Right now.
She's doing a good job on the playing front.
15-10.
Oh, one can see in that rally why she's such a superb mixed doubles player. Not that that was ever in doubt. 15-10, 5-point cushion. Indecision, and that perhaps confirms the point you were making, because normally she would have gone back
there. She would have gone back. So
in fact, she started to move.
Yeah, so it could be illness, it could be a small injury, but there's no taping. She's got no taping on, so. And maybe it's nothing, so.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a tactical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's well worked. Very well worked. And the 5-point advantage is restored.
Have the Liu Ying and Liu Yu, have they been #1 in the world ranking?
No, they haven't.
They haven't?
2 is the highest.
Yeah, so there's more at stake here, because I did some calculation that the winner of this match will not only be the Super Series finals winner, they will also move to #1 in the world rankings.
Crikey.
So
the Danes could go up 3 places?
They could go up 3 places.
Wow.
And that would be an achievement that would be valued by the Danes. They started out as a sort of spare time project in the women's doubles, was both focusing on mixed doubles, but then found a good playing style. Of course, there's also some rewards in it, because I think most of the players, they have some kind of bonuses with their equipment sponsors as to... Oh, that's pulled in. That can't be challenged, that line.
No, it can't be challenged. It's the centre line.
Challenges pulled in.
We don't have a Hawkeye camera on the centre line. It was the centre line in question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we have got a... No, I don't think we have a camera down the centre line.
It's going to be a no decision.
So, unless the umpire has overruled straight away, then the call presumably has to stand.
Yeah.
So, I unfortunately just glanced away at that precise moment. But talk me through it, Steen.
Yeah, the serve from...
here we go.
Here it comes. I think it's clearly in, and it's also clearly, no, not clearly, but it's questionable whether it's wide, and that's what the Danes are
wide of the
advocating.
centre line, yes.
Couldn't really see it there. It was just my initial reaction that I thought it looked a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
But
well, that could prove crucial. And I have to say, I mean, I love the Hawkeye system. I really do. I think it's a great advancement for our sport. But I do think there's sort of a tendency of umpires, when they're on a Hawkeye challenge court, to not think about overruling.
Yeah.
And therefore, instances like that, the umpire isn't even thinking about an overrule because they're just reliant on Hawkeye.
Exactly.
And they need to be alert to the fact that they will, at times, have to overrule, and should. It's gone long.
Just managed to get out of the way there.
18-13.
Yeah,
that's
good call.
actually
That's a
bit
great
out.
call by the line judge there.
I would initially think that the Chinese pair might be challenging that one, but we are sitting at a little bit awkward position.
Yeah.
19-13.
So 2 points away from this opening game, the number 2 seeds. Oh, well taken, my goodness, what commitment going forward. Oh, what a lovely way to bring up game point opportunities. The angled smash across court from the left-hander. And Pedersen knew that the reply was going to be straight, and she was ready to pounce. Game points. Oh, that's wild, my goodness me.
Service over. 14-20.
They found it.
Second game point opportunity is converted.
First game won by Christinna Pedersen.
21-14
21-14.
in just under 21 minutes.
Brilliant varied attack from the Danes in this first game here.
Ja. Men det er virkelig god rytme, vi har. Stille og roligt, og så når vi spiller, så spiller vi.
Ja, det er også rigtig godt, at vi tager der. Kun skal det her bare blive så. Jeg tænker bagud, så det gør ikke, at den er over på min side. Altså, ikke, men i midten der.
Servesituationen er helt perfekt, at de kommer til at spille med os, og det er rigtig godt. En gang imellem kan vi godt have en halvdistance med også, fordi de er klar på, at vi gerne vil ned på bagmanden. Og måske også den der krydshalvdistance.
You can see Christinna here, she's very concentrated within herself.
Hvis vi kan, jeg ved ikke, om vi kan styre det, men det er bedre, hvis vi ikke tager netkanten og kommer helt ned på hende dernede. Men vi lever med dem, hvis det er. Og så de der mod toeren med lidt fart, de er rigtig gode, for de kommer til at spille ind til os.
你们速度要加起来，你们场上的速度要起来，你打得很慢，你知道吗？你放慢，弧度放慢就行，移动速度不能慢，出手也不能慢，明白吗？你现在放慢了，人家一点威胁没有，后场你从来没中杀过，你一排都没有中杀过，你都是点杀，这样威胁不够啊！你该中杀的该突击的还得突击啊！场上移动速度要起来，明白吗？场上移动，你顶啊那些跟着要快一点，好吧？脚下不能慢的。
And also, I mean, if their plan was to play a longer match, yesterday they played 2 games and it was, what, 90 minutes?
Yeah, an hour and 26, yeah.
So this is only half the time they used for one game yesterday, and they haven't really got their defense going at all.
No.
Second game. Level. game.
So the Danes 1 game to the good, 21-14. And I thought in that 2-minute timeout, Steen, I certainly saw Christinna Pedersen blowing her nose. Maybe she's got a little cold. What was the instructions there?
Yeah, it was pretty much reinforcement of what they've been doing so far. Something about the service situation, and I think that they're looking to have a good rhythm, taking it nice and easy in between rallies, and when they're playing, they're really there. And I think the Chinese pair, they need to put some pressure on Kamilla Juhl, because they've got her going here in the first game, and that's worrying, because if she's having one of her good days, she's really hard to handle. So either they need to work her with some long rallies, or they need to take her out of the game and target Christinna Pedersen a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that drop shot there from Juhl.
Of course, they don't know. They don't have our information that that Pedersen might be struggling a little bit.
Oh, that's a great return of serve.
Could also be some kind of neck, if you've slept in an odd position and your neck is become stiff. Yeah, well played. Well played.
Yeah. Chin-Chi-Chu a little bit
4-2.
happier with that rally.
Made good use of the little confusion between the Danes. Were we playing side by side, or were we playing front court, back court player?
Look at the neck cord, for which she apologises.
Service over.
And that brings the run of 4 straight points to an end.
But I'm a little bit surprised of the Chinese interval, because, I mean, it really looked like Ying with the knee bandage. She was told that this was really not acceptable, what she's been doing in the first game. Good defense.
Oh, that was a fantastic shot. Oh, clever play from Juhl. That delightful change of pace. But there was a drive from deep in the forehand corner of Pedersen. That was an incredible shot. This one here. How she kept that flat over the net, I don't know. Isn't that delightful change of pace? Well played.
A sense of change in momentum now.
Definitely.
And I think it's been this player here at the net, Juhl, who's been behind everything. Really helped assist her a lot.
Oh, that's a great smash.
Service over.
Very accurate.
They've been very successful with the smashes to the outer side of the Chinese pair, the cross smashes.
Good rally. Oh, my word. Stepped into the half-court push Pedersen and dispatched it.
5-6. Shuttle.
It's not easy for the Liu sisters either, especially Ying if she's got an injury in her knee that she's nursing and played like 90 minutes or 86 minutes yesterday. Takes its toll on you. Good return there from Ying.
Service over.
Well, Ying found him. The Danes are definitely trying to be more positive on the defensive play.
Yeah.
I know she missed that one, but rather than just lifting as they were doing for a spell in that opening game. Looking to turn it, looking to block it or drive it, whip it across court.
And she might even have taken a step further towards the net.
8-5.
Because, I mean, haven't been that dangerous in their attack. Liu Ying and Liu. Service again. Wide.
Good play. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. What defence from that Liu Ying.
9-5.
Look at that. No wonder they celebrate.
And they've got to clear, the Danes have got to clear that corner up and figure out what to do. Do they want Kamilla Rytter to come forward? Or do they want to play a little bit more patient game? But right now it's there's no clear agreements on that. Very short lift.
Yeah. And it got what it deserved.
10-5.
Excellent placement of that smash.
Oh, how did he get that back? There's a definite shift in momentum, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's well played. Well played
6
by
points advantage at the mid-game interval. And the Chinese pair extending the rallies. And this is hurting the Danes. That's incredible retrieving. So how do the Danes stem the tide at the moment?
It's difficult, looks difficult right now. I wasn't able to catch up on anything they said, except that last words was keep going, and of course that's they can't stop in the middle of everything. But I would suspect that if they lose a couple of points more, they would more or less let this game go and concentrate on the decider. Another quick point there. I think the Danes are going to lose interest in this game.
14-5.
This is all one-way traffic now, isn't it?
15-5. Christinna.
And they were 2 low up in this second game, the Danes. Only won another 3 points. Gone long.
16-5.
Yeah,
It's been a
6-5.
dramatic turnaround.
So they lost 10 straight points.
Yeah.
Danes. Chinese really got their game going, found their game plan.
Service over.
At least that run has come to an end. Are aware that this
17-6.
second game is beyond them.
Yeah. There's no point in trying to win this game. The thing is, you try to get a feel of the drift, if there is any, or what do you do? But most of all, the Danes seem interested in
18.
not using any energy at all here.
Oh, string's gone. In the racket of Luo Yu. Oh, might as well try something tricky.
Yeah.
Service over. 7-18. Shuttle. Service over. 19-7.
Oh, it's been phenomenal, hasn't it? From that 6-5 advantage to 19-7.
short.
Service over. 8-20.
The service from Ying. Match point saved by the Dane. No, not a match point, a game point saved. Still 11 of them left for the Chinese pair. That's enough. 21-9. And one game all.
21-9. One game all.
Well, one game all. And the Danes are going to have to...
Som netmand, det er fint, og vi må lige se, hvordan de starter. Men de står ikke heller helt så meget langt kryds, som vi har snakket om. Så det er fint at gætte. Og så, hvis der kommer en, vi ikke har regnet med, så må vi nå den og hive den op. Okay? Ja, lige præcis. Og stadig.
Well, it really bothered me, the body language, I have to say, of the two Danish players.
Yeah, they don't seem too optimistic. I think you're right, Juhl. There's some kind of cold.
Yeah, he's using every second of his allotted time. What was he saying?
Yeah. I couldn't hear enough of it. He just said we're not close to a warning yet, so I don't know if they want to still use a lot of time in between rallies.
Which again would suggest that Christinna's not 100% fit.
She's definitely not 100% fit. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And the main thing was the first picture we saw of the Danish team in the interval was that we're overplaying it a little bit too much, meaning that we're playing too sharp. We want to go for it too much, and that means that they're losing quick points instead of getting quick points. In the first game, they got a lot of quick points, but the Chinese they're too clever to do that 2 games in a row, and they sort of lock the possibilities down.
Oh, brilliant.
That's too short. What was the call?
It's called in. I thought it was brilliant. It was certainly in. I was looking specifically at that centre line, and I thought it was a wonderful serve.
I looked at the lineswoman and I thought she waved it out, but it was clearly in. Or at least it wasn't out on the short line. And of course, the Chinese, they can see the body language of the Danes as well. And
hence the earlier comment from Lars Uar, keep acting.
Yeah.
Even if you're not feeling well, do not let your opponents see that.
No. And the Danes really need to win a middle to long rally now in order to believe it. Well played.
And they're on a roll, the twin sisters.
It's really not looking good for Christinna, because I can see that Kamilla, you see there, she's moving towards her own backhand side, and she would never cover that on a normal day.
Yeah.
And that means that there's openings in her own forehand side, and I don't think she can keep on covering all that. So this is looking a lot like a Chinese win and a #1 world ranking. That would be important in terms of Olympic qualification.
Yeah, very much so. Doubles, aren't they, with Christinna Pedersen at the front of the courts. Only the third points scored over the last 22 rallies by the Danes. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, we just need a couple of lucky shots like that. The net cord on the return of serve. Then the net cord on that lovely little block. There's only 4 points difference.
And it's always difficult for the opponents to play against a player or a pair that's a little bit injured, because you go for chances that you normally wouldn't take. You'd be pretty happy with 50-50 shots. Because if the rallies get long, the chances of winning him get slimmer and slimmer.
Wide. And another long rally. And whilst Lars Uar trying to still encourage his players, and feels that the Danes haven't got an awful lot left. Well, 39 was the longest rally so far. With another one in the 30s, that's not helping the Danes, I'm sure. Oh, there's another lucky net cord for them, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they got to realise now, that they need to go for the 50-50 chances, go for the net court. See if they can get on a roll like they were in the first game. And that's what the Chinese needs to be aware of. But the Danes are going to do this, so they've got to be very alert still. The two Liu sisters.
Rally. Yeah, they're definitely just playing a mixed doubles, the Danes.
Yeah.
Formation.
But the better thing to do there is still to see if you can play a constructive defense.
Yeah, look at Christinna Pedersen. Look at that.
She's
and that longest rally so far of 43, and I'm not sure she can continue. I'm really not sure that she's going to continue. The umpire telling her to return to court.
Yeah, she's continuing until the interval. But it's getting much more difficult right now.
Yeah. Well, it was clear from the start, wasn't it? I noticed in the first 3 rallies or something that she was going forward to the net more than normal, and just wondered what that was all about. But obviously you've explained it.
But if you lose your energy so quickly, it's normally something about an upset stomach or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, good shot. Not the best of serves. The return has landed in, but we've got a challenge here. Danes challenged immediately.
I have to say, all the time the shuttle was in the air, I thought it was going long, but when I saw where it landed...
You thought it was in?
I agree with the linesman.
Yeah. Well, we're sitting directly behind the court, so for us to see that back line is quite difficult. It was in. You were right, Steen. Line judge was right.
They have to take a defensive attitude. The Danes, they cannot win by playing these long rallies. That's it.
So to the mid-game interval. And will it be the end of the match? I think they've deliberately walked away from the kit box and given them.
Yeah, they're discussing playing the mixed. See, shape.
Just explain, Steen, what the rules are. Obviously, if a pair pulls out in the group stage,
yeah, all the results are void.
All the results are void. Is that for throughout the tournament, or that's only in the group part of the contest? I'm assuming that once you get to the knockout stage, your results aren't void, because otherwise
I think the reason they're void is to be fair to all pairs.
Yes, exactly, in the calculations of the group standings. Can't believe that if somebody had to pull out in a final, all their previous results would be void. I just simply can't believe that. It's gone wide.
It's not an option to play front court, back court player against this very strong Chinese women's doubles pair.
Kamilla.
opportunity.
14.
Oh, they're quitting. They're quitting, I think.
Do you want the doctor? Okay, okay.
I think they've called it a day.
Christinna.
Yeah, it was quite obvious she wasn't feeling well. So that's it. They've had enough, the Danes. Quit when 10 points adrift in the deciding game. Just under 54 minutes. And it was quite obvious that Christinna Pedersen was struggling. So, for a fourth time, China win the women's doubles title at the Super Series finals. Of course, it was only one previous pair from China who won, but they won it 3 times, Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang, 2010, 2011 and 2012. So their confirmation of where the match ended with Luo Yu and Luo Ying. Having lost the first 14-21, they stormed back in the second 21-9, and the Danes, having battled hard and tried as they might, well, it was quite obvious Christinna Pedersen was not well. 14-4 up in the deciding game, the Chinese pair. And the Danes, well, as try as they might, it was a forlorn hope. Well, we can go courtside and join our winners, who are talking to Howard Bentham.
So we've got our winners, Luo Ying and Luo Yu, on court now to have a word with our new champions. We've got the interpretation skills of Jing with us. If we could ask the girls just to describe what it's like to be Dubai World Super Series champions.
请问本次参赛有什么感受？
我觉得这次比赛就是，我觉得整个人比较享受，因为跟这么多世界级排名前几的选手来打比赛，我觉得挺享受的。
I enjoyed the games very much because I got to play with the top players around the world.
Absolutely, and it was a great start by the Danish pair. What did the coach say to you to get you back into the game?
那比赛刚开始的时候，对手打得非常的漂亮，然后我们一度落后。那教练对2位说了些什么？让我们的状态有所调整。
教练在场下会给我们指导一些，就是比如说战术上会起到一些，就是不会像先前一样布置的战术那样去打，然后去改变战术，然后通过去拉开，然后就是鼓励我们信心上要起来。
And a word to your many fans in China and to the very noisy fans here in Dubai.
对我们国内的球迷以及现场的球迷有什么话要说？
我觉得首先非常感谢这么多球迷到现场来观看我们的比赛，然后非常感谢他们为我们加油，谢谢。
Thank you all the fans on the spot. You come all the way here to support us. Thank you very much.
Well done to our champions, Luo Ying, Luo Yu, the Dubai World Super Series Finals Women's Doubles Champions 2015.
So the number 1 seeds become the champions, Luo Ying and Luo Yu. Well, I have to say, after the opening game, they looked totally dominant. For Luo Ying and Luo Yu, well, this their 5th final of the year, their 4th Super Series tournament final. And they now have a 2nd Super Series title of the year. They are incredibly strong as a women's doubles combination. They don't really have weaknesses. They both move well, their defense is excellent. And once they had worn down the Danes, and obviously with Christinna Pedersen not at 100%, then that wearing down process happened a little quicker than one would normally expect. One has to feel desperately sorry for the Danes because they are former champions. but today they were beaten by a better player. So that's the first of our finals, and what a disappointing way for it to end, but we've still got 4 matches to come. And next up is Chris and Gabby Adcock looking for their first Super Series title of the year. In fact, in their first Super Series tournament final this year, up against Go Sung-hyun and Kim Ha-na, who won 2 back-to-back titles, the Denmark Premier and the French Super Series as well. Then we've got the women's singles. Now, what a sensation Nozomi Okuhara has been this week. 2 victories over the world champion in 2 straight games. Carolina Marin, of course, that was in the group situation. Wang Yihan, a former winner of this title 4 years ago, back in 2011. And of course, Wang Yihan is a former world champion and world #1 herself. Then we've got the men's singles, and Victor Axelsen appearing today in his 5th Super Series tournament final. But he's still looking for his first ever Super Series title. He's up against the #2 seed, the left-hander Kenta Momoto, who has never lost a singles final in senior badminton. So that's an incredible record. Then we finish with men's doubles and the world champions, the 2-time world champions. They won this title in Kuala Lumpur 2 years ago. Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. They're up against last year's beaten finalists. And it's interesting that throughout all those finals, none of last year's winners are present today. So we'll have new champions on the champions list by the end of today. So the 5 finals, 1 complete. Well, not quite complete, but I think we are just about ready for the prize presentation.
سيداتي سادتي، حفل تتويج بطلات زوجي سيدات في سلسلة السوبر العالمية لرجال الطائرة دبي 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony for the Dubai World Super Series Finals 2015 women's doubles will now take place.
رحبوا بالفائزات في مباراة نهائي زوجي سيدات.
Now please welcome the players for the women's doubles presentation.
رحبوا بضيوفنا المسؤولين الكرام في مراسم تكريم الفائزين.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the presentation party into the arena. Paul Eric Hoyer, BWF President. Moza Al-Mari, Dubai Sports Council Board Member. Khalid Bel Jafla, Vice President for UAE and Oman, Emirates Airline.
الميدالية الفضية من الدنمارك.
Ladies and gentlemen, the silver medalists from Denmark, Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Rytter.
Well, desperately disappointing for the Danes in their 3rd Super Series final in 4 years. For a second time, they have to settle for second best. But really, for Christinna Pedersen, well, my heart goes out to her, because if you're not fully fit at the end of season finale, this is the tournament they all wanted to qualify for and they all wanted to do well at. For an 8th time, the Danes must settle for second best at a Super Series tournament. 10th final today in total as far as Super Series tournaments are concerned.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalists and winners of the Dubai World Super Series Finals 2015 women's doubles, taking home a prize of $42,000 from China, Ying and Yu.
The identical twin sisters, Ying and Yu. One thing is certain, they will be the only #1 seeds to take the title at the Dubai World Super Series Finals. Only #1 seeds appearing on finals day. And for them, it's a second Super Series title this year, second in total. They won the Malaysian Premier Super Series in their third Super Series tournament final. But this is the biggest of them all. Dubai World Super Series Finals champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dubai World Super Series Finals 2015 Women's Doubles Champions, Ying and Ying! Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the ceremony for the Dubai World Super Series Finals 2015 Women's Doubles Champions.
So, as our MC has announced, that concludes the prize presentation for the women's doubles finalists. So, as far as Luo Yu and Luo Ying are concerned, well, what a day they had. This is how they took the title. Well, our next final is mixed doubles, and looking at the semi-final stage, very nice to see 4 different nations involved. But the only seeded pair left in were the Koreans by the last 4, Go Sung-kyung and Kim Ha-na. Well, as far as the English pair are concerned, this is their first Super Series tournament final this year, and what a place to do it. There they are, the married couple, Chris and Gabby Adcock, up against the number 3 seeds, Go Sung-kyung and Kim Ha-na. Well, the mixed doubles finalists, I'm sure that Chris and Gabby Adcock, the nerves will be jangling